Gen Z is more likely to fall for online scams. Yes, you heard that right. Gen Z, as in Zulu, is more likely to fall for online scams. And when I say Gen Z, I'm talking about the youngsters who spend more time interacting with technology than they do with other people. And yes, you can troll me on Twitter. Welcome to episode 189 of the Cyber Safety Net Stay Safe Online series. My name is Anthony Germanos. I'll be the presenter today. Today I'm talking about people who are sloppy with technology. They use the same password over and over. They do not use two-factor authentication. Back in episode 102, I introduced the CIA triad, or the confidentiality, integrity, availability triad. Since we're talking about people getting ripped off online because they're careless, troll me on Twitter, remember. I think we are in the confidentiality domain again. Now I'm going to share my slideshow and also reveal that I'm citing a press release from the Attorney General of Michigan. Why Gen Z falls for scams? Which side of the CIA triad? We're talking confidentiality today because people are getting ripped off because they're careless. I'm going to read this slide verbatim for those who have audio only. Michigan Attorney General Dana Kessel wants to make Michigan residents aware that members of Generation Z, those born between the late 1990s and early 2010s, are 3 times more likely to be victims of online scams. Those under 20 lost an estimated 8.2 million in 2017 and 210 million in 2022, a more than 2,000% increase per the FBI's Internet Crime Reports. Yeah, that's right. In 5 years, this one segment of the population had a 2,200% increase in financial losses because they just got a little bit careless. Let's ask why Gen Z, and there are a few traits here that may scare you. They spend a lot of time shopping online and engaging with social media. And I'm going to turn off my camera so you can look at this slide more thoroughly. They're running job hunts, and when they get bogus job offers, they're sometimes told that they have to pay for training or supplies, and that should be a red flag. Also, they reuse passwords and do not use two-factor authentication. They use the same password over and over and over, and they don't use 2FA, two-factor authentication, sometimes called MFA or multi-factor authentication. Let's go one step further and talk about what they can do, or if you're in Gen Z, what you can do to be more secure and safer online. Turn on two-factor authentication. Turn off location-based services on your phone and change your passwords often. If you're using the same password at multiple sites, stop. You need to change your passwords so that way, if somebody gets your password at one site, they won't be able to use that same password at multiple sites. I'm asking you to do a lot, especially if you engage at over 100 websites, but you got to do it. What are you going to do? Will you follow my advice and change passwords and use two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication? Or are you going to say, oh, screw Mark, he's not Gen Z, he's older? Or are you just going to go about your day because you have other things to think about? You know where I stand. Today's presentation is sponsored by my 4th book, How Hacks Happen. In How Hacks Happen, there are 2 personas. There's me, Mark, the good guy, who wants to protect you. And there's Brad Cracker, the bad guy, who wants to rip you off. Brad says, hey man, I'm good at hacking. Hacking is easy. I like the easy money. I'm done. I know your time is valuable. I know there are other places you could have been, but you chose to be here. You chose to listen to me, Mark Anthony Germanos, tell you that you need to be more street smart when you're online. You need to make sure you don't use the same password over and over, and you need to use two-factor authentication. Thank you for watching. Good day, everybody.